ever really done it this way, but I'm starting the vlog from the night before New Comic Book Day because there's such exciting things happening tomorrow. Technically 2 weeks worth of comics, and this week alone, this upcoming Wednesday, today, has so many good books, and specifically variant covers. I feel like I say it every week now, but genuinely these companies, and more specifically artists, have been knocking out of the park to where I'm consistently saying it, not to exaggerate because it's just the truth. But on top of that, not only is there 2 weeks of comic books, a insane week of variant covers where I'm really gonna have to pick what I want, otherwise I'm gonna just spend a fortune. I actually had the pleasure of being invited onto a podcast called Paneloids. If you want to check it out, it would really mean the world to me. Obviously, it'll help them, but it's just so cool to have an opportunity like this, and I want to really make it worth it for them. So if you got a little bit of extra time, if I upload this at the right time, there's even a chance you can watch it live. I'll have their stuff linked down below, but I'm really excited. They really know their stuff. They have such a professional setup podcast where it's like, hey, here's this week's comics, if anybody read any back issues, some news, rumors, different stuff, and it's just a super well put together podcast. So I'm very honored I get to go on. I'm really excited. It will be Wednesday, February, I think it's the 10th or 11th, technically today, because it's like 2 in the morning. I genuinely can't wait. So yeah, part of this vlog, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing to get ready ahead of time, and a lot of it is going to be reading. I've already read a lot. I could probably keep up with whatever they're talking about, but they like to talk about new comics, so I'm going to go to the store, come right back, read all my comics. I'm going to do a really nice time lapse for you guys, and then I'll be fully prepared. But first, probably the most important thing, I'm going to go to bed, get some good rest, and then hopefully I'll be on point for this podcast. Wakey, wakey, time for school. I mean, comic book shopping. I just woke up. It's about like 8:20 or 30, I think. I usually get up like right at around 8. But I needed a little extra sleep. I went to bed at like 2 or 3 a.m. last night. Not a great idea, but it's fine. I feel decently rested enough. And even last night, I told you guys last week I had this challenge for myself that I wanted to read 200 single issues in the month of February. And last week, yesterday, I think I only read 2 or 3 single issues. So after work, I was like, I want to make sure I read a couple more. So I read 0 Hour Crisis in Time, issue number 3 and 4. And the really cool thing about this series is they do stuff backwards. You start with issue 4 and go 3, 2, 1, 0, because the story's based on like a countdown. So they have this cool countdown with the issues as well. And then I also read, let me get it right here, Batman Static Shock Beyond. And that was pretty decent. I like what they're doing with what's his name? I think Shutdown is the like villain that they have. I like the setup for it. I think it's moving a little bit quick, and I'm not necessarily like super invested, but it's entertaining. As for my fish updates so far, the only thing that really needs to happen is I'm going to clean this soon because the algae has gone a little crazy in the front of it and on this gravel. There's a lot of excess food that they need to clean up as well. Otherwise, obviously, I will. But the only unfortunate thing, the guppies are doing good, all the cories around the tank, but we actually lost one of the cories. It was a super bright neon green cory catfish, and I'm going to be honest, like you can see all the other ones, they're doing really good. I think it's something up with the neon ones, and here's the other ones right here. So I don't know if I'm going to keep getting them. I do feel really bad, but those ones, they worry me because I had another neon green one not do well, yet all the others are doing super well. So I don't know. And then here's Neptune in the 5-gallon. Every time I come over to the tank, he comes and sees me. He was a menace, let's be real, with some of the cories and being defensive over food, but he is a really nice fish. So I always wish him the best. There's also a snail in here. I'm not quite sure where the snail is right now. I'm assuming maybe just in the gravel somewhere. But I think from the snail, unless it's the log, they make this crazy looking stuff on the log. But there's Neptune, having the time of his life, doing pretty good. Oh, there we go. There's the snail right there. Okay, last night I gave you a little insight into what I have to do to get ready for this podcast. I'm going to go get my comics. I'm going to read them all. I'm going to be prepared that way. But I also want to prepare the room because it's kind of a mess. And I'm also going to do some technology testing, test out my mic. I have a Blue Yeti because back like years ago, people said it was really good. Now here they're kind of crappy. So I'm going to try to get the most of it, put on some like nice settings and hope it does me right. Otherwise, I might try like a headset mic, but I don't know. And just make sure everything's ready to go. So before we do all that, let's get the comics because that's like priority number 1. And then I'll get back home, read, and get all this stuff going. Because I have till like, I think around 6:30, 7 p.m. because that's when they start, is at 7. Okay, so it's about to be breakfast time. But first, I wanted to cover all the bases and go over what I'm looking for today at the shop. First of all, obviously last week's stuff. I've already talked to you guys about it in the last vlog. I was going to say, if you want to see what I want to get, go to that vlog. But guess what? It'll be in this one, fortunate enough for you. Besides that, for this week's stuff, we got Wonder Woman Annual coming out. I think I'll probably just get the A cover. Otherwise, there is a couple good variants. I'm not quite sure what the letters is. I feel like B and D I liked. I can't remember. I'd have to look at them. But I just know there's some good variants, so I'll be on the lookout for that. DCKO number 4 has an insane amount. I'd say I might go for cover A. Otherwise, there's a couple variants I want, so I might skip it like I did with issue number 3. There's a cover B. It's Daniel Warren Johnson art of like a luchador Batman. Who doesn't want that? You also get this one like really late in the lettering. I think it's like a 10th or 11th variant that they did, and it's like Guy Gardner, Wonder Woman, like all these different people on the cover in like warrior outfits. You also have the one with like the evil absolutes. There's so many good covers. I just keep getting smaller and smaller because of the box. There's so many good covers. I'll really have to pick what I want and maybe only come out with 2 or 3. Oh, also, I think cover C or D. I'm not sure how they designated it with this one. The Dan Moore one is sick. It's kind of like a classic style of like a UFC or MMA card or boxing where it's like this person goes against this person and this and this and this and this. It looks so good. Transformers issue number 29 is also coming out, and I would love the Dan Mora. No, not Dan Mora. Daniel Warren Johnson variant for that. I think it's cover B. I'm pretty sure it's Megatron, and then Thundercracker's back, and Thundercracker's kind of like, great looking cover. We also have Cyclops issue number 1 releasing, and the A cover for that is beautiful. That's all I really need. But if I can get the 1 in 25, they did a cover with a bunch of the different suit designs for Cyclops. I want that so bad. We also got Immortal Legend Batman, and for that, I really want cover B. It kind of looks like a manga or like I think it's Super Sentai poster. It looks insane, like really cool. The artist killed it on that. There's also Aquaman issue number 14, and I was just going to go back to reading it online before the DCKO tie-ins. Cover number D is so good that I might just have to get it. Like, it'll be on the screen, obviously, but damn. And I forgot to mention this earlier with Cyclops being a number 1. We're also getting a Mark Spector Moon Knight coming out. I think it's by McKay. I could be wrong. I might have seen that wrong. But I really want to tap into that as well and give that a chance. And then finally, Green Lantern Corps. There's only 2 covers for this one. It's John in front of Enkar, and it's just like a really funny looking cover and a cool Kyle one. I'll probably just get the cover A. But that's all the ones I have pulled. There might be ones I see at the store that I'm like, oh, I really want to try that. Like last week, I tried to do a risky pick of the week, where every week I pick one comic to give a risk on. This week it might just be some of the number 1s. Otherwise, I'll try to get an indie one. But last week, I got an Invader Comics. I was happy my comic shop even had it. It's called Do Not Disturb. I actually really liked it. To not give away like a lot of it, the plot is basically, if you've seen Sixth Sense, there's a really big plot twist at the end. I don't want to give it away. It's really popular. You might already know. But take that, and it's like early on. So there's a detective that's dead. Okay? Damn. I just realized I kind of cornered myself with that one. Like, how do I explain without giving away the plot twist? So spoiler alert for Sixth Sense. It's been out for a while. If you want to just skip ahead 10 seconds, I'll probably already be done. But at the end of Sixth Sense, the detective figures out that he's been dead the whole time. In this story, he figures out early. Like, it's like, hey, buddy, yeah, you're dead. Like, you're not coming back to life. But in his mind, it's like, even if I'm not coming back to life, I'm going to find ways to help solve this case. So I have no idea how he's going to communicate with the living. No idea what he's going to all go through. But it was a really fun ride, even with issue number 1. So I might actually pull that and keep getting it. So hopefully this week, I can find something just as good, if not better. Also, I did get the usual McDonald's. I got orange juice in my 2 sausage McMuffins. Last week, I tried the sausage burrito, or egg burrito, whatever it is. It was all right. Nothing too special. I mean, probably good for some little extra protein, but I think I'm going to stick with my usual. Okay, I just got to the comic shop, and it's only like 9:48. It opens at 10. So what I'm going to do really quick, like I did, I think, last week. No, there were no books last week. Sorry. Like 2 weeks ago, is I'm going to look into what variant covers I want the most and just kind of secure those really quick and then get my pulls and get in and get out. With today, the timing is crucial, so I'm as prepared for this podcast as possible. And honestly, there was no like, Core, you have to do this. There was no like super high expectation or pressure, but I genuinely want to do well for them because even on the way here, I'm listening to the Paneloids podcast and it's so entertaining and well put together that I'm like, you know what? I like this elevation. I like having something that makes me want to do better. That's so awesome. So I might have went a little crazy. Well, I just got back from Comics Corner, and I think 2 weeks ago in the vlog, I said, and I quote, or pretty close to, I love finding everything I want and more. I feel so lucky when I do, but luckily with my comic shops, I usually leave with that feeling. That's an amazing feeling. But here's everything I got from Comics Corner. I'm going to go over it really quick with you, and then there's going to be some bonus content. I don't know if I have said it so far. I've said it quite a bit, but I'm going on Paneloids tonight, so what I thought would be fun is I'm going to time-lapse myself reading all the stuff from this week in preparation for it, and then I'm going to document a little bit of the journey. So what I'm doing to get ready for it, what the experience was like. No pressure on them. If anything, they know what they're doing. And then this vlog will probably be a day late so that you can see all that. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to keep having them on Wednesday, whether it's evening, afternoon, night, so that it's like right away and you guys can watch it. But if it's a day late, that's why. So first up, we got We 3 by Grant Morrison, of course, a compact comic. I saw this on shelves for a couple weeks, a couple months ago, and then I hadn't seen it since, and I kind of got a FOMO feeling, but more so I heard it was really good, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. It was literally the only one left in my comic book shop, and they do this really nice thing where compacts are already cheap. This is $10 for this whole story right here, and I think it's the entire story. But on top of that, I think for everybody, or the membership people, I'm not sure, it might even be everybody, it's 30% off all trades that they stock. That's insane. So you're taking a $10 comic book and basically making it around like $7, I believe. But it just says, I'll read this really quick just in case you guys are interested. Deep inside a top secret U.S. Air Force research facility, a revolution in cybernetics is taking shape. Using ordinary domestic animals as their test subjects, the scientists of Project AWE, awe is hilarious because they're cute animals. That's great. I love that. Have created a new class of cyborgs, flesh and metal creatures designed to rule the battlefields of tomorrow. That's evil. Wow, what? The project's crowning achievement is a trio of prototypes codenamed We3. Each one custom built and trained to work as a specialist within a team, with their nervous systems enhanced and supplemented by cutting-edge military hardware. We3 are the ultimate smart weapons, programmable yet autonomous, loyal yet utterly ruthless. There's a little bit left, but wow, I get it. I see why people are saying that. Oh, but besides that, got a couple more stuff. I think the rest is all single issues. First up from last week, we got DCKO boss battle. I think cover number B with Superman and Homelander fighting. This is insane. I was so happy to get that. Next up, I learned something I want to teach you guys. So I learned this, I think, from Spidey Collects or Spidey Films. I can't remember, on TikTok. Basically, if you take your comics and you do front with the board, and then the next one board with the front, and keep repeating. So front with the board with the front, and then front to front, board to board, whatever. When you're stacking comics, they'll be way straighter, less pressure put on them. And it's like the perfect way to do it. So that's what I did with my new comic book day stack today. So if I have to flip some, like, look how straight that looks for the most part. Otherwise, it like bows and bends. But anyways, next one in why it's backwards. We got Night Fight issue number 4, I believe, cover C. This is awesome. This is like family feuds at their best. We got Batman and all his kids and Robins and everything just going at him. I love this cover. I almost just got the A because the A is really good too. But that was too good. And I heard that story from like basically immediately is good. So I love to hear it. We also got DC AEW number 1 wraparound. I don't even know if it's variant or if this is just the normal. Yeah, this is just the A cover and they did a wraparound. That's really cool. I heard some people, this was a really hit or miss, but already they've won me over a decent bit with the wraparound variant. So hopefully it's a good read too. Next, we got Batman issue number 6 by Matt Fraction. Last week, I told you guys in the vlog, I went up to the owner of the comic book shop and I said, please, since you were so forward about what was happening with the comic books, I really appreciate it. Is there any way you could save me some of the stuff I was looking to get today? It's like, yeah, of course. So I just wrote down the stuff I wanted, and this was one of them, but I had a little note. If possible, like if he gets it, could I get the 1 in 25 variant? I'll show it up on the screen, and unfortunately, because this was the only thing in the stack, I'm assuming he didn't get it, or it was already spoken for, or maybe a little pricey. I don't know. I don't even know if I put a note like, as long as it's not pricey. I don't know. I can't remember if I did or didn't. Next, we got Absolute Green Lantern issue number 11. I love this A cover. I'm going to be completely honest. The amount of skill it takes to be a good comic artist is insane. I didn't really like the variant covers for this one. I think Green Lantern's creative team usually knocks it out of the park. At least for me, that was the best one. And nothing against them. There's probably people where some of those variant covers are somebody's favorite. So it's just not my taste. Next up, we got Absolute Superman issue number 16. This is sick. Hawkman and Superman like ready to go. We had the build up from last issue. We got the new suit. Superman is like, he's gearing up. He's ready to go. And I love all the build up we've had so far in the story. Next up, we got DCKO, another boss battle. This is just the wraparound variant. We got a bunch of characters. Lex, Wonder Woman, Annabelle, Superman, Sub-Zero. I think this is Red Sonja. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Vampirella. We got, of course, Homelander. I blanked for a second. I think this is Sabrina the Teen Witch, which I didn't know was going to be in this. And then this one, I can never remember the name. Is it What's Hidden Beneath the Trees or something? I don't know, but I heard that one was crazy, and then, of course, Joker, too. So I can't wait for this. I haven't heard much about this. I think I heard that it was really good, but nothing with, like, what happens in it, and I'm so grateful for that. Wow. This is, I think, a couple weeks old, but Ultimate Endgame number 1. This was the variant I wanted out of the blind bags, and I didn't get, so I just made sure to get it this week, because I was like, why would I not? Like, that's the one I wanted most. Why would I go without it and have variants that are, like, pretty decent? So I made sure to get that, so I could have that for my collection. Speaking of the Paneloids podcast, something that they put me on, and I think one of the heads or, like, front runners, whatever you want to call it, like talking heads of what's it called? Ignition. I think it's a new comic company or relatively new. They were talking about this Arcadia, and they gave like a really cool consensus what it's about. And whoever that person is, I think it was like Dan something. They know how to do their job, because it was like they would ask about a book and it's like, oh yeah, this book, it's like this. Great summaries. Genuinely had me very interested. And I saw this on the shelves and I remember that. I was like, oh, I remember hearing about that. I decided, why not? I'll give it a try. So huge shout out to Paneloids. If somehow like you can't get anything from me being on there, man, do they kill it themselves. Like, they do such a good job. So if you want a podcast to listen to people talk about comics, it's amazing. Next, we got Shadows of Tomorrow Cyclops, a brand new #1. This was another one I really wanted, the 1 in 25. This is, I think, the start of all the new issues, by the way. And they just didn't have it. And I think almost nobody does, or it's selling out at a lot of places. Because if you go and look it up, I think it's cover maybe D or E, I don't know. It's a bunch of the Cyclops outfits from all time, like all those different costumes. It is so sick. So I could see why it's hard to get. A variant that was luckily not hard to get, and a Daniel Warren Johnson variant. We got Transformers issue number 29. I have grown to really love the design of Thundercracker, and you have him standing in front of a very menacing Megatron. So happy I got this. I almost got the who did it? I think Jorge Corona, the one with Soundwave. That one, wow, he killed it. I think the only reason I didn't was a money thing, like a budget, and that was, if not, I probably should have just added it on top because it's that cool. Next, we got Bleeding Hearts. I saw some ads for this throughout some DC books, and I think this is the start of like a Vertigo coming back. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. And I think it's Dennis is how you say it. If it's not, I really apologize for messing that up. Dennis Camp and a bunch of other very gifted people like Stepan Marian, I believe is how you say it. I can't wait to try this. Hopefully it ends up being really good. And if it does, I'll keep pulling it every week. But I just like giving stuff a try. That's what we'll say was my risky pick of the week. And Arcadia, I guess, as well. But they look really good. Next, we got DCKO, the start of DCKO is all I gotta say. Another DWJ variant, and this is awesome. It's like Luchador Batman. It's so well drawn, and I love the like the tattoo instead of having a logo like on his chest. Great. This might even top that one. This is Dan Mora's for DCKO #4, and I love the idea of like obviously like a fight card. They have all these fights. Why not advertise them like this? And what I love is since it's semifinals now, you just have the 4. It was like, oh, this is the main card. And this is like the semi or whatever, the under. I can't remember what they call it, but like UFC will do, I think, or MMA, or well, I think it's the same thing, or boxing. So really cool idea, and the execution was amazing. Then we got Absolute Wonder Woman Annual issue #1. I got a couple of these as well, so I'll get through those really quick for you. This one I believe was Hayden Sherman's. I think it's technically a wraparound. What's really cool is you have, this is kind of like the statue of her, I believe, in Pegasus, and on the front you have her and a bunch of the main characters. Super cool. I could not pass that up. I usually try not to get 2 issues for same book. Sometimes there's like an A and a variant I really love. This one, I got the A and 2 variants, so that says a lot. And then this one is Dennis Cohen, just a front cover. There's nothing extra. It's just the ad on the back. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful. Next up, we got Aquaman, another just beautiful one. Kind of, I almost poked myself in the eye. You know, I've done that like 2 or 3 times on this channel now. That's crazy. But kind of like ocean inspired, because I mean Aquaman, obviously. But you got a hammerhead shark, octopus, a couple different fish, shark. Like, this is beautiful. I was looking at Aquaman, I think today even or last night, to be like, do I pick it up? Or like I've had a couple of the issues. I can just read them online. Like I don't mind that too much. And I saw this cover and I was like, they got me. They got me. All right, I'll admit it. Next, we got Green Lantern Corps, issue #13. This only had 2 covers. Oh, no. Comic Geeks only shows it has 2 covers. It has 3. So as this is the A, they have one with, I almost just said Green Lantern. They're all Green Lantern. With Kyle Rayner, and then there's actually another one. It's one of those like fashion covers where they have the outfits and whatever. And I can't remember her name, but she almost looks like Starfire if she was in the Green Lantern Corps. So that's really cool. But I just decided to go with the A. I didn't need the Kyle Rayner one. I thought it was really cool looking, but like not cool enough to pick up. And that one has Anquar on it. I think probably his first time on a cover and his second or third time in a book. So I was like, why not? And John looks like he's fighting for his life. It's kind of funny. Next, we got Immortal Legend Batman issue #6. This reminds me of like a Power Rangers type of thing. And I think this cover is so well done that I was just going to go with the A. And I was like, this is too good. Last but not least, a cover I was looking forward to big time, and another #1 I can't wait to give a try. We got Mark Spector Moon Knight. This was one of those variants. I think it might even be a 1 in 25, so they marked it up a little bit. So worth it. That's so cool. There was almost another one I got. It was kind of like a softer look for Moon Knight. I don't know how to explain it. And then there's a Peach Momoko one. Both of those are amazing. The first one I was talking about, I think the one guy's face is like in a swirl. So if you know your covers, you'll be able to tell. Otherwise, Graham, the editor, he does such a good job. He'll probably put it in. Oh, wait. Is there another bag? This might have been deceiving you this whole time because I didn't just go to one store like I usually do. I went to 2. I went to Comics Corner in Fraser and then Liberty Comics, and I believe it's Roseville. And let's just show you what I ended up finding. So first of all, this ended up being $42. That whole stack was like barely over 100. I think it was 102. So if you want a reference of how much you can get with a membership at Comics Corner, there you go. But I made sure to get like the solicit thing, I believe, or actually I think this is just a comic news. I think the solicits are through the companies themselves. But basically, I went there for one reason and got really lucky on 2 fronts. I needed more bag and boards, and I forgot to check at Comics Corner. I know it's so silly. But sometimes, like when you make a purchase, I hate going back into a place immediately after. It really depends on the mood. But here's the boards. I can't remember. I swear some shop owner I talked to before said certain bag and boards are a little too tight and they might mess up your grading. So I was like, I hope it's not these. If so, you live and you learn. I'll have to get the current or modern and silver next time. I don't know. I'm honestly fine with silver. There's a little extra room sometimes with some of the modern books, but it works for me. But I ended up getting 2 books. Now, if you remember, I said earlier there was a book I was really looking forward to getting the variant to and didn't. But I did. And that's Batman issue number 6. This is the 1 in 25. Something about the like white background with this like terrifying like monster door thing or elevator. It just really caught my eye, and it's very visually appealing to me. So I was like, thank God they had it. And it was only $10. I don't know if that's marked up more than maybe some others do or rated about what some comic shops do. But I was like, this is great. I mean, come on. I ended up getting what I wanted, and it's like a thank you to them for having that. There was actually another one for DCKO number 4. This is probably the craziest I've gone for variants ever. I just had to have it. Check this out. Another, I think, 1 in 25, or like a very sought after variant. I'm not sure. I think it is a 1 in 25. Guy Gardner, Superman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, all in like these crazy looking warrior outfits. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm going to show you guys like a time lapse, like a funny one of me reading stuff and like my preparation, and we'll get right to some of the podcast stuff. This is going to be a longer one, so hopefully, you know, you're enjoying yourself. You're chilling, you know, you got some popcorn or drinks or just something, but enjoy yourself. This is huge for me. This is probably my favorite new comic book day ever, except for maybe Free Comic Book Day. But that was because it was like the start to my journey. It's such a huge moment, I guess. But this is too. So, yeah. All right, it's the day after now, but I want to show you guys some of my preparation for the podcast. What I love about Paneloids is they do their podcast Wednesday like night, like 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they talk immediately about that week's books. So it's one of the podcasts you can go to immediately for all the brand new comics. They also have a section for what do you call them, back issues, so you can get talks about stuff that you read too that's from the past. So all the books that came out this week, they didn't make me read any of this. This was so I could be as locked in as possible and be able to weigh in on topics if they needed me to. I read Batman issue number 6, and this was from last week, but funny enough, wait, no, it wasn't. I'm thinking about Fight Night. This was from this week. This was amazing. I think we talked about it a little bit. I can't remember. This night fight was from last week and randomly ended up being very relevant because there's something that happens to Damian in this that was like, that might be something that ties to DCKO, but who knows. This I also read. I didn't get to talk about this because I forgot about it, but this is really great. Arcadia by Ignition Comics. You also have Aquaman. I talked about this a little bit. I'm going to be honest, the DCKO tie-ins for this are iffy. Everything Before by Jeremy Adams is great. We also have Immortal Legend Batman. They weren't reading this, so it was really helpful that I read this because I could give them and any of their audience a synopsis if they wanted to get into it. And this series is just fun, so I was really glad. They sent me ahead of time. They were like, hey, here's all the stuff we read. If you didn't read it, no problem, but let us know, and you can weigh on it. We'll, tell you like, oh, Core, I know you read this. What'd you think? So I sent them back. I read these ones I didn't, and then I also read these extra ones that weren't on the list. So they have such a professional way about going about stuff. It was so easy and like... I was nervous at first just because it's a new opportunity, new thing, new people literally to meet. But man, they killed it. Next up, we have Green Lantern Corps. They also weren't reading this, so this was a fun one I got to weigh in on, and they made sure to give me the floor. I really appreciate that. We had a bunch in a row. Somehow they didn't read Absolute Wonder Woman Annual, but what was really nice is, again, I got the floor, and I got to gush about this. This is amazing. So that was awesome. I feel like goosebumps. It was such a cool experience. Moon Knight, I think they both read, if not at least Pierre did. Another really fun issue in my first ever Moon Knight ongoing, so I hope it's really good. I don't think it's a limited series. It might be, but it's my first ever Moon Knight comic, I think, in general. Bleeding Hearts, they liked this a lot. I also thought it was really funny. I was a little confused at times, or like, not necessarily confused, more like, I think there's something more going on here, and I'm just not picking up on it yet. But it's Dennis Camp. Dennis Camp kills it every time. Dennis Camp, if you're not aware, also does the Ultimate series for Marvel and does Absolute Martian Manhunter. So, wow. We also have Cyclops, they both read it. Really great first issue. And then finally, of course, one of the biggest talking points of the podcast, DCKO number 4. I would just say, if anybody else ever gets the opportunity, it is so fun. Kyle is so good at putting everything together and making sure you're comfortable before you go into it. And Pierre, he was the only other one there because the other co-hosts, whatever you want to call them, hosts, weren't there. And he's great at just running the show. Like, once you're in it, he's like, hey, Core, would you like to weigh in on this? Kyle, what'd you think? Or next up, we got this. It's time for this section. It was awesome. I got no complaints whatsoever. If anything, I'm riding for Paneloids now. And I made sure ahead of time. I was like, I want to be as prepared as possible so that there's nothing unnatural, or there's nothing natural that could mess this up, like something that I could have done. It would have to be some unnatural disaster to like make this bad. I was listening to their old podcast. I was listening to the oldest ones, and they were still super entertaining and fun. And the new ones, they are on top of their stuff. They'll go over new comics, back issues. They go over stuff for like TV and movies, rumors, like all this different stuff. It's awesome. If you guys haven't started listening to Paneloids yet, I heavily recommend it. Oh, but it's a form of like Athena has a way of doing it, and Wonder Woman's kind of like the unpredictable. And so she gets to give up some of her power to Athena, and in return, Athena gives her something, but you don't know at the time. So then she goes to where Medusa is, and she has some kind of siblings or people to help protect her. And she just goes right up to her after her siblings are trying to attack her. She's like, I'm not going to fight. And she looks her dead in the eyes, and you're like, smartest survival instincts ever, maybe. But she got something through Athena where her eyes, it wouldn't do the effect on her. She won't be turned to stone. So instead, the whole point that they make is Medusa is so like vile and evil or just mean because she doesn't have that human connection anymore. She can't even look people in the eye anymore. And people are afraid to look her in the eye. So it's this really nice, like wholesome, I see you for what you are. Like, it's cool. I'm here in this moment for you. And Medusa kind of walls come down, and it's just a very beautifully written and for sure art too. A beautifully drawn story, and I love the overarching theme. And in the end, they come back to the chess game, and I think Athena gives her a little pat on the back, like, you know what, you did your thing, you did a good job. And she says something about how she would respect her for how she plays the game. And Wonder Woman kind of hits the, well, you've beaten me every time. I think you would still beat me. And she says, I don't know. I think if we were to play today, you would have actually won. It's like a really nice, everything gets tied up, great, wholesome story.
Or you have a special book for us, Lantern Corps number 13 by Morgan Hampton, Juan Jose Ripe, and Chris Sotomayor.
Yeah, I heard not a lot of people are picking up some of the Green Lantern stuff. I would say main line is better, but Green Lantern Corps has some fun stuff. This one, kind of run-of-the-mill comic book. You got a villain, new one too that they're introducing called Enkar. I don't know, crazy spelling for it. But he's basically this thing that can absorb life, and he's like a big water monster, and so he can grow, he can have like clones of himself, all this different stuff. He's actually kind of terrifying. Like, he'll put his like clone bodies around people, and then they're just like drowning. But like issues before that, we have Larfleeze is this like huge hulking like Godzilla almost out of nowhere. Just really fun stuff. It's one of those you can kind of, for the most part, turn your brain off. Not in an insulting way, of course, but just enjoy it. You don't have to think about it too much.
Aquaman number 14 by Jeremy Adams, Daniel Bayliss, and Rex Lucas. Yep, break it down, Corey.
Okay, I love Jeremy Adams to Green Lantern, and somebody, I think one of my friends even told me he's doing an Aquaman run, and I was a little bit behind on it, still able to find it in stores. I think the tie-ins for DCKO are fun. I think they bring the quality back just a little bit. Still fun. I will say a little confusing at times too. Like the arc going on right now, very entertaining, but one of those you're like, did I miss something? Do I gotta go back and read? So a little confusing. If you're reading the tie-ins, I'd say pay attention. But before it, like the stuff they're introducing to Aquaman and the whole, I don't know if you guys have read any of it, but they have like the blue concept, and it's basically a whole new power that Aquaman gets. Yes. So instead of just controlling fish and all these different powers, he can very well manipulate water, and it makes him a way bigger threat. In the Aquaman versus Hawkman fight, Hawkman is vastly underestimating him, and with this blue, it's no competition. He's like up there now, close or right at level with the Trinity, which is really cool. And Jeremy Adams' writing is just great.